Alright, so going off of yesterday's video, for newer players, I wanted to make a tier list for the agents from like how simple they are to use and how useful they are. All these agents can be used and be efficient in their own way, and they're all good, and you can do good with all of them as long as you have like the gun skill, and then they can all be useful once you get used to them. But I'm just gonna rank these based off of how easy they are and how reliable they are, and how just easy, yeah, just how easy they are in general to use for a newer player and how easy they are to understand. So first off is Bangalore. Bangalore, she has smokes, and then she has a an airstrike type thing, unlike Gibby, or that's kind of like Gibby's but a little different. They go in a, I think, a 5x5 manner, and they explode from left to right. It's really good. She's really good for escaping fights with her smoke, and then her passive ability, when you're running and you get shot at, you actually run a little bit faster. Now, for newer players, it's going to be a lot harder to win straight up gunfights, so they might need to dip out into cover. And so I'd say Bangalore is like an A tier. And the only reason I don't have her in S tier for is because like how to utilize her ult. But I mean, you can just pop your ult to either engage or to make sure teammate or the enemy team that you're going against kind of backs off a little bit from you and goes into cover as well. So you can get away and heal, and your whole team can recuperate. All right, the next is Bloodhound. He's an information character. His E, or whatever your tactical ability is, or the bind is for you, it actually marks them, and you can see them through walls, and you can fully see them for full seconds. It's not that long, but he's actually a really useful character. His ult makes you run a little bit faster, and then you can cast your ult a lot more, and they are all highlighted as well, all your enemies. All right, I would put him in S tier. It's really good for if you don't really have that good of spatial awareness yet, and he's really good for just info as well, so you know how to engage the fight that you're about to get into. Caustic, I'd put him around C or D tier. None of these agents are gonna go below C, to be honest. None of them are that bad. Maybe Watson, but that I'll go over that next or later. Caustic, if you want to play with him, you're gonna have to play more passive, or you're gonna use his smokes to kind of block off choke points, or yeah, points where they can push you and slow them down, and then you can kill them a little easier as they're slowed and stunned a little bit. He's a really annoying character. He's actually been like buff nerfed a couple times over. They don't know. Respawn doesn't know what to do with him yet, but he's a cool character. I'd put him in C tier though. He's not really that good. He can, but if you're like the right team and you want to kind of play really passive in houses and stuff, then Caustic is a good choice. Next is Crypto. He has this drone that you can go in, and when you go into this drone, you're going to be sitting dead still. So you might, when you pull out your drone, like go into cover. He can grab your teammates' banners if they full died. He can respawn them as well, and he can also, if you go into the banners for the champion team, in a 200-meter radius around Crypto, you can actually see how many teams there are around in that 200-meter radius. I put him also in C tier as well, since like you can kind of use these guys the same. Oh, also his ult is an EMP. It does 50 damage to the shield, so it's a good engagement, but he's not really a good player to use, or use a unit to use if you are new, because like when you're new, you want to learn how to actually engage a fight, and Crypto's not really going to allow that as much as other characters. Next is Fuse. He's pretty bad. Actually, I'll put him in B actually. Um, his ult, I don't know if it's gotten buffed recently or not, but it's good if you want to like recently, if you want to close off out a choke point or anything, or you want to trap a team in there and just spam them with grenades. His passive actually lets you spam a bunch of grenades at him at a really fast. You can also hold more grenades as well. He's actually he's a decent character. He's really annoying. He's not amazing though, but his cluster grenades are actually really annoying now, since now they do quite a bit of damage. They kind of act like a thermite as well, so you know. Gibby, he's gonna be an S tier character. He's extremely useful, His tactical ability allows you to put down a bubble shield around yourself. So, like, say you're in a longer range gunfight, you pop it down, you can heal without really getting shot at, especially if you have no cover. Also, if you're in like a more close engaged gunfight, you can pop down your shield and pop your ult. And as I was talking about with Bangalore, his ult is kind of like an airstrike, and it comes down and in a little radius around yourself, and it actually does a lot of damage. It's pretty easy to kill people with the Gibby ult. And if you pop down your tactical ability, your bubble shield, and then you pop your ult, it makes all the people, if you're not really near cover like that, come into your bubble and you can engage a fight like that, and it'll just help you learn how to take gunfights and win more gunfights slowly. Next is Horizon. She's some astronaut chick. Her Q ability. She was actually really broken when she came out. Her Q ability allows you to throw a kind of an elevator type thing down, and you can heal in it. And once you get to the top, you have like 2 seconds to sit there, and then it kicks you off. She's actually pretty good. She's pretty balanced right now. I'd say she might need like, I guess it's not really. I don't think she really needs any nerf or buff right now. She's in a good state. Her ult is a little black hole. If you want to use her ult, usually you just throw her ult near the people, drags them in. You throw grenades, and you can actually kill a whole squad pretty easily, or at least a couple, and it helps you like win more gunfights that way. But I would say I'd put her in A tier for how easy she is to use. I would say that it's a little bit harder to aim with her if you're using your tactical ability, just because you're going up, and if you're not really that skilled at aiming, it'll be a little bit difficult to actually use her and use her to a good ability. Lifeline, she doesn't really help you engage fights at all. Her ult is a care package type thing. It gives you better loot than you have, and her drone is a healing little pod thing that goes next to you, and it actually heals really fast. They buffed up the healing time, but they got rid of the shield that it used to have. I'd put her around B tier. This is just so you guys know, this is just a list for you guys to learn how to actually win gunfights. And so this tier list would be a little different if we're talking about how just good they are in general. But this is just for you to be able to engage gunfights and how either engage gunfights or escape from gunfights. And that's just what this list is. It's not really like a tier list for how good they are. Now, with Lifeline, you can't really engage a fight that well with her. It's your pure gun skill with her, and she doesn't really help you just fight a team, to be honest, unless like you have enough time to call your drone and heal with it, and the team actually lets you have that team, or lets you have that time to heal. But she's not a bad character. She's pretty good if you want to use her. She's really simple to use, not really hard to understand, pretty basic. Loba, I'd say also B tier. Her tactical ability allows you to throw her bracelet and to teleport to her bracelet. The troubling part with that is when you get out of her teleport, it takes forever to pull out her gun. So like the only way for you to use it is to either run away with it or reposition yourself in a fight. That's about it. And because if you can't take out your gun like that, you can't really use it to engage a fight that well. Since if you want to get better at this game, you have to engage into a lot of fights, whether you lose or win, and you have to understand how you died and why you died. But Loba, she can't really help you engage in those fights like that. And her ultimate allows you to put down a little pole thing, and it spawns a black market in the certain radius. I don't really know what it is. It allows you to pick up 2 things off the floor and infinite ammo. Mirage. He's an amazing character right now. He's really, really annoying to deal with. His ult makes you go invisible for a second, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I might be stuck in the past. And it spawns around a lot of clones around him as well. And you can hear the footsteps, so it's really, really hard to tell exactly which one the real Mirage is, unless you're like really close to him. And even then, if like depending on the surrounding, it's still really hard to see where he is and what he is. I put him in A tier. His tactical abilities allows you to send only one decoy, and if any of the decoys get shot or destroyed, it tells you where the people shot him at from. And where when his clones get shot, it actually shows you where they shot the clone from, and you can also get info from that. So he's actually a pretty good character. Octane, he is by far the simplest character to use in my opinion. He has a jump pad that sends you 100 meters, I think, almost away, like to a teammate or away, or to an enemy and away from them. And his stem, which takes 20 HP from you, and you go 25% faster, I think. He's really good. He's really good for engagements. But when you use your stem, it gives you more FOV, so that can kind of mess you up a little bit. Same with Bloodhound. When he uses his ult, his FOV actually changes as well. But all in all, Octane's a really simple legend, and if you a lot of people will like him, especially if you're more of an aggressive player as well. Pathfinder. Actually, I will put Pathfinder in A tier. I would probably put S tier, in my opinion, but he is A tier, I guess. He's a little difficult. He's not difficult to use at all. He has a grapple, and you can use that grapple to engage gunfights and escape from gunfights pretty easily. Um, and I mean, he's just a really good character. Like his grapple, you can get up on high ground with it. You can run away. You can really engage. You can build up a lot of movement with him, especially if you want to become more of a movement player as well. He's a really, really, really good legend. Rampart. I'd say she's C tier. A lot of people consider her as the worst uh legend in the game. She has, I think, three little little walls that you can shoot through that buffs LMG damage. And I mean, she's a really passive character, and it won't really help you win if you use her right and you learn how to use her. She can be pretty good and really, really annoying, but I will say as a beginner it will be I don't know. I don't think it would be that great to use. Now, the next one is Revenant. Actually, I'll put him in S tier, especially if you're combining Revenant with Octane. That's actually a pretty broken combo. They kind of nerfed it a little bit recently. But with Revenant, his ult lets you put down a death totem. You tap it, and then you get 100 HP to go and do whatever you want to the team that you're engaging. But when you die, now it stuns you for a second. And so you might want to put that death totem in a certain area away from where you actually are trying to engage in the gunfight. That's why Octane is so good. His tactical ability allows you to throw a little ball that disables people's abilities for 15 seconds. So he's all around a good player. You can also climb really fast, and his passive allows you to move faster while crouching, making you a harder target, letting you win more gunfights. So there's that. Seer, S tier. Actually, he's probably right now the most annoying character in the game. His tactical ability, it allows you to shoot a little beam type thing, a little in not a wide circumference at your enemy, and it shows you how much HP and exactly where they are. And it also attaches to them like Bloodhound's tactical ability. You can actually see where they're going. So he's actually really good. I'd say he's just a better Bloodhound right now. And then his technical ability actually has a spear. You throw down a thing and it makes a really big dome around you, and anybody in that dome who's running around, it shows you exactly where they are. So right now he's a really annoying character, but he's really easy to use and actually helps you engage gunfights really well. Next is Valk. I put Valk in B tier just because if you want to win more gunfights in this game, movement is your best option and what you want to learn. And you'll want to learn basic movement before you start using Valk, and if you start using her at the beginning and you get too used to her, you'll kind of be messed up with your movement just a little bit, but not a lot. But she's good nonetheless. Her ultimate allows you to kind of redeploy, and then her tactical ability is like a missile barrage that stuns them. It's kind of like an arc star a little bit, but does a lot less damage. Also her passive lets you fly around as soon as you like if you're in the air and you press spacebar. So that's why it kind of messes up your movement when you're like running, slide jumping, and trying to do all these other mechanics. Next is Watson. I'd say she's probably, honestly, she's the only D tier. She's actually really bad right now, especially with all the good players and stuff. She's good if you're sitting in a area that you want to like hold down, I guess. Like, but the roof has to kind of be a little high so people don't wall jump over it. But to be honest, she's not really that good. Her ultimate allows you to put down a little generator that generates your shield up slowly. But she's a really, really slow character. And even if you want to use her aggressively, it's going to be a little annoying and a little hard to get used to and understand and really, really get good at it. There's a couple of dudes, but she's not really it. I don't recommend her. Last one is Wraith. She has a getaway free card, or she did have a super getaway free card. The second you tap the tactical, you disappear basically, and you can't take damage in it, but you don't go invisible. It leaves a little streak in line, so they can follow you, but it definitely allows you to escape really easily and kind of reposition yourself a little bit. Her ult makes a portal. You also run faster than that, so the main combo usually you pop your portal and then you pop your tactical ability, or yeah, you pop your tactical ability and you run really fast. You can run away pretty easily, and yeah, she's a S tier for newer players. I do recommend, like, the S tier is all the characters I recommend you playing when you're trying to engage gunfights and win more gunfights as a newer player. All the rest I'd say are like A tier even as well. You can also, like, those are characters you should use as well. All the B to D tier characters are characters you could use depending on your playstyle. And this is a playstyle just based off of engaging gunfights and running away from gunfights mainly. I would say Loba would be higher, but she doesn't really have a good engagement. So yeah, this is my tier list for characters you should use, but you can use whatever you want. This isn't a tier list that tells you exactly what to use, but this is just a tier list to tell you what is good for you to improve at the game and what would be better to honestly just use whatever character you want, but this is what I recommend using if you want to get better at the game and engage more gunfights. That's just my opinion. You don't have to take my opinion as fact. You can, I'm not really a pro either, so if you want to ask pros, go to their streams or something and ask them. But this is it. I hope you like it. Like, subscribe, share the video. I'm trying to get my channel back. I'm getting like no views anymore, but I don't really care. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Peace out.